Welcome, everyone, to my episode in which I talk about the top 10 coins that you probably did not know existed. Now, these are not your everyday run of the mill US coin errors. These are some coins that are pretty unique in their own right. Not a lot of people know exactly how these were made, how they were distributed, but we're going to talk about 10 absolutely fine examples that certainly makes the list of coins that probably has been largely overlooked for many years. But before we get started, I have to throw in my good old YouTube thing. If you haven't done so already and this is your first time, feel free to subscribe to my channel where we talk a lot about coins. If you're an avid searcher of coins and you like to hunt through rolls and just, go through money, collect money, that's what we all like to do, then this might be the place for you. If you want instant notifications, go ahead and hit the Sherlock Holmes button. That would be the bell there. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started with the top 10 list of U.S. coin errors that you may not know about. And we're going to start off with the number 10 coin and then go in descending order. Okay, this one right here, not a lot of people know about it. I didn't know about it until about 2004 or 2005. So even then, 5 years had passed since this coin was released. But it's a 1999 Delaware state quarter that was struck on an experimental planchet. Now, let me explain how this one came to be. Take a look at the date, 1999. Okay, there was one prominent event that happened in U.S. coinage. Okay, and that was the release of the brand new Sacagawea Dollar. Of course, these are the manganese alloyed coins. All right, so that's why they've been called the gold dollar. So during this time, the year previous, the U.S. Mint had produced a number of experimental strikes to test out the strike abilities of this new planchet for the dollar coins. So what they did was they struck using existing dies of coins that they were producing in 1999 to make some experimental strikes. Okay, they test the hardness, they test the pressurization of the dies. They run a whole battery of various tests to ensure that these coins are going to hold up, that the machinery is going to hold up. And one of the coins they struck was a coin that you see here before you, as this Delaware state quarter that was struck on a manganese experimental planchet. So this one right here was authenticated by PCGS as a mid-state 64, and this one sold for $3,300 on Great Collections, December 8th of 2013. All right, so that's the number 10 coin. You probably didn't know it existed, but there you go. You know about it right now. So the next coin that we have here for you, okay, this is the number 9 coin. This is another Sacagawea Dollar. This is a 2000p type, so it's a Philadelphia minted coin. This one, however, was inadvertently struck on an already minted Maryland state quarter. Okay, it's just a case of mistaken identity, I guess. One of the coins probably fell on the floor, someone picked it up, and without looking, threw it in with a bunch of the manganese alloy planchets that were made and intended for the Sacagawea Dollar. So you have something here that looks absolutely marvelous. It is dramatic. It's one of the most awesome errors that you'll come across in coinage. This one graded NGC mid-state 65, and this one sold for $3,487.50 on Great Collections, January 28th of 2018. Phenomenal example. You might find one of these out in change. Hard to say. They do pop up when you least expect them. They are rare. They are rare, so I'm just going to throw that out there. So the next coin right here, undoubtedly, has been found in change. Okay, you know how I know? The grade. This one graded PCGS AU58. It's an about uncirculated coin. Just by looking at the coin itself, it has certainly seen some circulation wear. It just took one curious-eyed collector or non-collector to see that there's something wrong with this coin. So it's a 1972 Eisenhower Dollar. Okay, this one, for what it's worth, is the Type 1 reverse, so it has the block letters on there. This one, however, if you could see, it looks like it's multiple struck. As a matter of fact, this one is a flip over double strike in collar. All right. Typically with double strikes, you might see the secondary strike that's off center or offset from the original. This one, the coin flipped over right into the collar, and then it was struck again, showing two impressions of the obverse and reverse on both sides. This one is as visually appealing as it looks. I've had the pleasure of owning a few double struck coins of this nature, not exactly an Ike dollar, but they are all fun to find, and they are worth a lot of money. This one, no exception. This one sold for $3,080, July 29th of 2012. So the next coin that we have right here for you is a 2007D Lincoln cent that was struck on feeder finger fragments. The feeder finger, sorry, that's a mouthful. It's a lot of F's in there. Is actually a little finger type device that helps seat the coin into the striking chamber. All right. Sometimes this feeder finger will get stuck, and then it'll be in the striking area, and then in which the mint presses inadvertently strikes the feeder finger, and then there you go. You have a really nice error. The likelihood that you're ever going to come across one of these and change is not very high. I mean, take a look at this thing. It looks like a damaged coin. It looks like some garage-made job. But sure enough, this is a legitimate error that maybe, perhaps, you didn't know ever existed. So this one right here is a PCGS Mint State 64 example, and it's sold on Great Collections for $3,410, August 26th of 2012. So that's that one there. The next coin we have here is another 2007D. This is the number 6 coin. This is an Idaho State quarter with a deep obverse die cap. So what happens when a coin sticks to the die and it doesn't quite eject after the strike? Well, it's going to sit there and it's going to strike more coins with an actual cap on the die. Okay, therefore not even showing any impression of the obverse details on any subsequent coins until the cap falls out. So after many strikes, this coin that was stuck to the hammer die will eventually curl up, as the metal gets thinner on that planchet and it wraps around the die head. Eventually it falls off, or a mint employee actually has to take it off by force, but that's how you get something like this. Now this is a coin that was graded PCGS Mint State 64, and it's sold on Great Collections for $3,960, August 26th of 2012. Okay, this one is amazing. You could serve candy or maybe a hot bowl of soup in this thing. So the next coin that we have here for you is a 1979. This one actually is a candy half dollar. Okay, this one has seen a lot of play in circulation. Some people have thought that maybe it's a magician's coin, but under close examination, this is actually a very rare mint error. This is a first strike brockage. This one is also called a double-headed coin. Not a legitimate double-headed coin, but because of the mint process in which a brockage occurs, you get kind of a mirrored image of the obverse onto the reverse. Now, the same can be true about a reverse brockage, but in this particular case here, you can tell it's a brockage because you have a mirrored image on the reverse of the coin. The date is even backwards on there. So it threw a lot of people for a loop, so they just went and spent it. It's a PCGS XF45. Okay, it has seen lots of circulation, but one lucky person that decided to take it out of change and actually did something with it as far as, authenticating it and then selling it to make a few bucks, was lucky enough to sell this one for $4,162.50, April 7th of 2019. So this was a recent sale. I would happen to think that's probably a recent find as well, maybe out of a roll of half dollars. So the fourth coin on the list, okay, is one of my favorites. Okay, this one right here looks totally fake. It looks like, someone drilled a hole right in the middle of this Lincoln cent. It's a 2007 D Lincoln cent, of course. This one was struck on a steel washer. Upon some sort of weight on the coin, it weighs 2.5 grams, and it is magnetic. Whereas the original copper-coated zinc planchet is not magnetic at all, this one is, so it's steel. This one graded PCGS Mint State 64, and it sold on Great Collections for $6,325. August 26th of 2012. Okay, that's a pretty neat one right there. So the next one right here is what I call a Peekaboo coin. This is about as crazy as it gets in terms of just the radical nature of what would be, kind of a subtle error. All right, so people might overlook something like this as being something that was possibly filed down or ground down to this size. But this is in fact a 1976 Kennedy half dollar that was struck on a clad 10-cent planchet. So it was a coin that was intended to be a Roosevelt dime, but instead was struck by Kennedy half dollar dies. So it's crazy. I mean, just look at the reverse. You can see the Bicentennial Independence Hall little piece on the back. It's so cute and all that. But this one right here, graded PCGS Mint State 64. And talking about big money, this one sold for $7,095. March 3rd, 2013. Okay, this is a memorable coin. I've seen this a few times, and I just had to talk about it in this one. The next one we have here is the second coin on the list. Another perennial favorite, but it's a 2007 D. Montana quarter. That is a double denomination error. So it was struck on an already struck Roosevelt dime coin. So you can actually see some of the strike of the Roosevelt dime on this coin, okay, which makes it really neat and fascinating. It's a great kind of conversation piece. But this one graded PCGS Mint State 65. Actually, I take that back. This is not struck on a dime planchet. It was struck on a penny planchet because of its red color. All right, so this one is a red-brown coin. This one sold, get this, hold on to your hats, $13,750, August 26th of 2012. Now, we're going to end it off on a big way here, okay? Blue Ridge Silverhound does not skimp on a #1 coin, okay? And this one right here, guys, was found in circulation. It was found either a pocket change, someone got it at like a soda machine, or, you name it. Just imagine all of the hands this coin has passed through. But it is a 2007 Sacagawea Dollar. Get this. Talk about subtle. This has the presidential edge lettering. Guess what? The 2007 Sac Dollar is not supposed to have any edge lettering at all. All right. So this one right here, overlooked for many years until it was finally discovered. And you're never going to believe how much this coin sold for. First of all, it graded PCGS Mint State 62. Yeah, look at this thing. This thing came right out of change and nobody knew that it even existed. But this one, guys, sold on Great Collections for $17,161.10. Yeah, someone bid this thing up an extra 10 cents for extra measure. You believe that? $17,000 coin right out of the Coke machine. And they say that drinking soda and juices is bad for you. I might have to do that more often, guys. Anyways, that's going to end it on the top 10 craziest errors that you probably have never seen before in your life. But maybe you ought to pay attention to it now, given the amount of money that these coins have sold for. I didn't talk about one coin that sold under $3,000 in this video. So that's the fascinating part of it. And they're all modern coins. Okay, there is nothing older than what, 1976. No, I take that back, 1972, which pretty much qualifies it for being like existence, fodder for anything that could be found in your pocket change. So why not take a look at it? Enjoy the hobby. Like, share, subscribe the video if you enjoyed today's content. It was a pleasure talking about some of the craziest US Mint coin errors. Oh, wow. These are phenomenal. I'm going to get to hunting, and so should you. You guys take care.